That night, heavy rain poured down on the old, secluded house on the edge of the forest. Sarah, a curious high school student, decided to play the Ouija board with her friends, Anna and Ben. They sat around the Ouija board placed on the table, waiting for contact with the spirits. Following the instructions they found online, they lit candles and began to ask, "Is there any spirit here?" At first, there was no response, but then the Ouija pointer moved by itself, pointing to letters that spelled out the word dark. 3 friends exchanged nervous glances, but they continued to play, thinking it was just a prank. However, the atmosphere changed as the Ouija pointer began to move faster and louder. They were startled when the Ouija board spelled out their full names one by one. Fear started to creep in, and they tried to stop the game, but the Ouija pointer continued to move relentlessly. Sarah felt the air around her turned cold, and she felt a cold touch on her back. She turned around and was shocked to see a dark figure behind the tightly closed window. Anna and Ben also saw the figure, and their fear intensified. They tried to end the game, but the Ouija pointer kept moving on its own, revealing increasingly terrifying messages. Death will come today. Anna and Ben exchanged fearful looks as they realized the gravity of the situation. Suddenly, the door of the house opened by itself, and they could hear heavy footsteps approaching. Without hesitation, they ran towards the door, but it was locked. They screamed for help, but their voices were lost in the midst of the pouring rain. The dark figure approached closer, and they felt their breath hitching. Sarah tried to call Ben's parents, but her cell phone signal was lost. They were trapped inside the old house, with an evil spirit haunting them. The next morning, the police found 3 lifeless bodies inside the house. They looked pale and terrified, with frozen expressions on their faces. No one knew what happened to them, but the Ouija board was still open on the table, reminding everyone of that dark and mysterious night that changed their fate forever.